In the 2019 Big Ten Wrestling Championships at 174, Mark Hall was able to get the win that he was expected to get over Miles Amin in the finals. As far as videos on this go, I have a video just specifically on 125 with the Sebastian Rivera versus Spencer Lee match. I've got a video on 133, 141, 149, and 157. Then I have a video on the Vincenzo Joseph versus Alex Marinelli match. This video is going to cover 74, 84, and 97, and then I'll have one last one that goes more in depth on the Gable Stevenson match where he was defeated by Anthony Cassar in a bit of a shock there, where I think some people were talking pretty early and pretty prematurely about Gable Stevenson being a guy who could potentially go undefeated all 4 years at heavyweight, but that is obviously not going to be the case anymore with Cassar getting the win there. But that is in a separate video, so I will focus back now on 74. So as far as the place winners go here at 74, Hall and Amin were the finalists as expected. So that's 1 and 2. Number 3 was Skatska from Minnesota. Labriola 4, Leidy 5, Smith 6, Hughes 7, and Christensen 8. Just to go from the quarterfinals on, Hall was able to win over Hughes by pin. Then he beat Skatska in the semis 4-2 by decision, and then won 3-2 by decision over Amin. Skatska got to the semifinals by beating Labriola by pin at 7:22, so I believe that would be in overtime. Leidy over Ethan Smith 5-1 in the quarterfinals before he lost to Amin 6-5, and Amin beat Christensen 6-1 in the quarterfinals before beating Leidy, obviously. At 184, this was a pretty unfortunate weight class in terms of how it ended, where there were a lot of medical forfeits, especially in the finals with Shakur Rashid medically forfeiting to Miles Martin. And there was a pretty funny tweet that was put up afterwards after Colin Moore was defeated by Bo Nickel, where they were just like, well, Colin Moore showed up and went out there and competed. He falls 10-3. But Shakur Rashid did not decide to compete, even though he competed up until that point, including going up against a guy in Taylor Venz, who is one of the top guys in the weight class. And he got a pretty good win there, too. But to go from the quarterfinals on, Miles Martin won 25-10 over Line, getting a tech fall. Line from Purdue. Cash Wilkie fell to Emery Parker 3-2. Parker then fell to Miles Martin 8-3. For the top half of the bracket. For the bottom half, Taylor Venz beat Mason Reinhardt 14-0 by major, just missing out on a tech fall there. And then Shakur Rashid with a pin over Caffey from Michigan State. In the semifinals, Shakur Rashid, who hasn't had too many big wins this year, had an opportunity for a really big one here with Taylor Venz, and he got it 6-3, so very dominant win for him there. I guess 6-3. I mean, it was a clear win for him in that it didn't look like Venz was going to win that match at any point, but still pretty good win for him. But for him to show that he was at a point where he could win that match 6-3, it seems to be pretty surprising that he opted not to face Miles Martin. Whether he just didn't think he could win that match, or maybe he suffered an injury in the Venz match and didn't feel like it was worth it at this point. By getting the win over Venz, he's probably going to get you'd figure probably at least a top 5 seed at nationals. So just based off of that, for him, he's probably just saying, hey, look, maybe I'm still not completely ready. Maybe my knee's hurting a little bit from up until that point. Just take the medical forfeit and go from there. So it's kind of unfortunate that we didn't actually get a Big Ten finals this year, that there was medical forfeit in there. But as far as the other results go, Miles Martin, first place. Shakur Rashid, second place by medical forfeit. Emery Parker wrestled back to third. Not too surprising there. Taylor Venz, fourth. Cash Wilkie, fifth, although Gravina didn't wrestle. Max Line, sixth. Mason Reinhardt, eighth. Or Max Line was seventh. Mason Reinhardt was eighth. At 197, no real surprises here, at least not up until they got to the finals. Pretty much went as expected from a seeding standpoint. So Bo Nickel finished first, winning 10-3 over Colin Moore. As far as going from the quarterfinals in, Bo Nickel with a tech fall over Wilton from Michigan State. In the quarterfinals, Eric Schultz with a 3-2 win over Christian Brunner of Purdue. So he got a chance to face Bo Nickel, ends up getting majored 10-2. On the bottom half, Jacob Warner beat Bo Bresky 10-4. Pretty good tournament for Jacob Warner in terms of scoring points, though it's been a concern of him of late where he's not getting a ton of takedowns. Very good on top, not the best off the bottom, but he's winning a lot of close matches as a result. It was nice for him to get some wins where he had a little bit more space in this tournament. So he gets the win over Bresky, Colin Moore with major over Anderson, and then Moore defeats Jacob Warner 5-2. So a good opportunity there for Warner. It was pretty close until the end, but I think it was actually 3-2 until the end, and then Colin Moore got a late takedown when Warner was trying to shoot in. But either way, Colin Moore gets to the finals and loses 10-3. So a pretty solid tournament there. So again, the place winning results were first place Bo Nickel, second place Colin Moore, third place Jacob Warner, Eric Schultz 4, Christian Brunner 5, Bo Bresky 6, Brad Wilton 7, and Jake, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, from Indiana. but the Indiana kid finished 8th. Let me see if we can get a better read on that. Kleemola. Yeah, so hopefully that's the proper way to pronounce it. But good tournament overall from Bo Nickel. Nothing too surprising there. I think he's got to be the far and away favorite to win nationals this year, and with him having a few other national titles already at this point, I don't see any reason to expect something else to happen. But who knows? Anything can happen. We've seen some upsets in this tournament. Not really at 197, but anything can happen in March. So can't wait to see what happens then.